Yeah. Wait, how do you zoom in on it?
Okay, so if that is where you guys are planning on sitting, I would maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you zoom in on it?
Yeah, you guys gotta.
I mean, I would say like,
Like
you
the
guys,
red button.
can they just save you guys the whole top row or something?
You know,
Can you?
this is
can you guys-
automatically
can
going
you, like,
to my system.
Soul can leave a
We're just gonna use
half.
these controls just in
Okay,
case.
so
We're gonna zoom in,
like your hand,
there to
yeah, yeah, these are things where
and
you're
then when
gonna
they
sit.
start zoom out mode,
You guys are gonna be
you're gonna be
standing.
walking out over there.
We're gonna be
You're gonna go over there.
After they finish it,
After anything happens,
Yeah.
there's a
zoom out.
So that's you.
No, when they start blowing, zoom it out so that you can get them in the camera.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Hold on, back
once
up.
they're done,
By the
then move
door.
the camera over.
Line back up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what you're doing.
When we were in here for the previous one, we got some attention because people were talking to us. If that happens during this, it will be an automatic infraction. Okay? If you're talking and doing stuff and it gets any attention. That's all.
Genuinely kidding me. Like, what is going on? Like,
Stevie, you have to sit on this.
oh.
Mr. G. Sit down right there. Sit down right there. Yeah. Sit down.
I already know where.
Leave it.
No, Henry, sit up. This has to stop right now.
I'm Stephanie Ashwar, Upper School Division Director.
I'm Kanali Pahakulua, Kumu'ulan Hawaii and Director of Hawaiian Culture-Based Education. For this special occasion, the Olelo Hawaii Levels 2 and 3 students will open with Uau Hawaii, led by Senior Keopuni Miyake.
Please stand as our seniors, the class of 2025, enter and take their seats.
Thank you so much. Please have a seat. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning!
Aloha. What a wonderful morning to be together. Aloha. I'm Nancy Nakamata, and I am so very honored to be head of school. Thank you so much to the Olelo Hawaii students for welcoming our seniors so beautifully. Can we give one more cheer for our seniors in your very, very special year. Before I begin, I'd like to just welcome a couple other special guests before we get to our main special guests. So I'd like to acknowledge we have some members of our board of directors. Could you give a wave of this group of dedicated volunteers that's here for us? And absolutely the number one volunteer job, so many hours, so much time for the stewardship and future of our school. We are so very grateful for all the time that our board dedicates to our school. The other critical group of folks that school would not be possible and so joyful without our faculty and staff. So could our faculty and staff stand up, please, and we can acknowledge and appreciate you. Are all teachers all the time, every day. Excellent. And before I get to our main guest, I want to share a little thinking I've been doing about the proverb of Kahiao. Some of you are really familiar with the word or idea of Kahiao because maybe it's your name. Maybe it's the name of someone you know and love. Maybe it's something you're really familiar with. I had the unexpected gift of a moment of listening to Nainoa Thompson speak. And if you don't know who Nainoa Thompson is, hopefully that'll, by the time you're done being a Voyager, everyone absolutely will know this incredible leader and person who made so much change possible. He's the CEO of the Polynesian Voyaging Society. Most importantly, he is an incredible wayfinder. And he was speaking about Kahiao. And it was in the context of, and I don't know if many of you remember, I happened to be in Honolulu that day when I was hearing about this event of a paddler, a high school student, who was lost at sea. Does anyone remember that in October? Yeah, something happened, and the whole group came back and they realized they were missing a student. And as an educator, separate from someone who spends a lot of time on the water right now, in canoes with great groups of people, part of why I can be brave in that is because I only paddle with a group of 6. And when the water gets really rough, I look at who I'm in my canoe with and I think I'm going to be okay. Okay? Because I'm with people, most have more experience than me, and I know I'm not alone. And so the idea, as I'm hearing the news report a high school student alone as it's getting dark, out in the ocean, as a mother, as a human being, I was stopped in my tracks or trying to understand what was happening. And only later, very recently, did I hear this story because Nainoa Thompson was actually recognizing the lifeguard who happened to also be a Hokulea crew member and captain, Nolan Keaulana. And he used the Hawaiian proverb of Kahiao because Nolan, when all the boats were coming in that night because it was becoming dangerous and dark, they hadn't found a student. Nolan took it upon himself to say it's not right for a young person to be out in the waters alone. He couldn't imagine that. And so he went out, he communicated, made sure he was safe, made sure he had ways to communicate where he was going, and he used the knowledge that he had as a captain, as a wayfinder, and decided to follow the current. And it was he who found the student who happened to also be named Nolan. And Nainoa Thompson speaks about Nolan, the lifeguard, the Hokulea crew member and captain, as exhibiting great courage and used Kahi'a as a way to express this incredible generosity, extraordinary generosity, to serve others without any expectation that you will get anything in return. Without any expectation that you will get anything in return. How many times do we make choices in our lives of, I'm going to do this or that because what do I get? What's the benefit for me out of this opportunity and moment? And so I was deeply humbled by the story about the idea of Kahi'a and how I can incorporate that in my own life. And of course, you know, around the corner, as when I was hearing the story, the birthday was coming. And I was thinking, my gosh, these 7 women exhibited and lived Kahi'a in ways that we are all benefiting from today. And there were 12 students when they opened. Is that right? 12. Can you imagine? That's like 2 benches here for the seniors. 12. So we're at 492 today. And they didn't do it because they thought they would get anything in return. They did it because they believed in what the possibilities of the future could be, the impact of what students in Hawaii could use and value and need, and that there was something missing and maybe they could fill it. And together as a community, and there's so many people here who were part of the school in the earliest days that made it possible, and then through the earliest days and through later days and through our future days, who are giving in the spirit of Kahi'a, not because of what they'll get in return, because what they believe in the future and what's possible for each of us. And so I'm often reminded that this idea that we are defined not by what we have, not by what we wear, not by what we carry, not by anything other than the choices we make with each opportunity we have. Whatever your background is, this is an incredible opportunity and privilege to be at a school like this. What do we do with that every day? The founding mothers chose with the opportunity they had to use their time to found a school. My gosh, are we lucky? So much gratitude. Celebrates the founding of our school, and now we have the great gift to celebrate the founding of our school with our founders. What a privilege. Frankly, I've not worked at a school that had a Founders Day. And I've worked at a lot of schools for over 30 years. So it's really a privilege and honor. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to individually introduce each of the founders and share a range of former roles they played in the school before we move on. And we are going to share a lei from our students that they've made. These lei come from each division and represent all the aloha we have for each of you and what you've made possible for all of our students, from our youngest, Napuakeiki, all the way to our seniors. So I'd first like to begin with Ms. Rochelle Carter. So do you mind standing? Okay. Great. Ms. Rochelle Carter was a founding board member and secretary and office manager and parent at Island School. Next, I'd like to introduce probably a woman that needs no introduction, Ms. Peggy Ellenberg. In many different areas of the school: English, computer science, social studies, drama, teacher, and administration in areas of communication development, and as a campus. The next founder I'd love to introduce is Denise Kaufman. Quite literally a rock star. She is a founding board member, resident musician, emergency medical technician, that's my favorite part, and a parent and grandparent as well. Next, I'm honored to introduce Diana Dahl. Founding board member, president, secretary, kindergarten, first grade, drama and music teacher, and parent. Next, I'd like to introduce Merlin Rella. Founding board member, federal grant writer, established our kitchen, a fundraiser, taught Hawaiian in first year, and parent. Next up, so honored to introduce Jolly Bodine. And finally, Lindsay Cam. Lindsay was a family board member, and she served as head of school. She was board president for 20 years, elementary language art teacher, high school English teacher, and parent, and probably so many more things that cannot possibly be named. So we are so honored that you're all here. We have a couple of questions to ask of you from our students, and I would love if Jayla from 4th grade and Julia in 8th grade could come forward. And let's hear it for our founding mothers one more time.
Should I stay on the founding mothers?
Can you tell me what you were like 50 years ago when you got the idea of the school?
Should I stay on the founding
What
mothers?
made you want to make a school? Thank you both for those questions. I'm going to call the board members, the founding mothers to warn me after everyone gets back to the button. So, thank you, Joe. That's a great question. And it's easy. We did it for the money. I'm kidding. We worked a gazillion hours and everything. So, you know, when Nancy said, Mrs. Nagamata, Kahiao, well, we did it for the love. And, you know, Lindsay, where are you? You were the head of school for years. You were the head of the board of directors for 20 years. Why don't you take it from here? Who are you back then?
Thanks, Carmen. Hi, everybody. When I moved to Hawaii from Honolulu 25 years ago, I was 25, sorry. I'll start over. When I moved to Hawaii from Honolulu, I was 25, and I did not know anyone. When I lived in Honolulu, I was a teacher, and I had lots of friends because I grew up there. But in Hawaii, I didn't know a soul. Just through a blank.
Can you guys hear? Yeah. Back, can you hear? Great.
Thank you. So let me ask you, have you ever moved to a new place and not had any friends? It's not fun. Also, I didn't have a job, so I was kind of lost for a while. And then I started meeting people, and one of the people I met was Jo. She told me that people were talking about starting a new school. And if I wanted to help, then maybe I would have a job. So I liked that idea. Over the next few months, there were several meetings, but nothing happened. It didn't click. Then Diana called me where we all met. We started sharing ideas and we got really excited. All of a sudden we were a team. Not only that, we were a team that shared a dream. And we didn't want to stop until we made it happen. It took over a year to open the school, but we had our first day of school 48 years ago this month. We didn't always agree, and we didn't always like each other. You know how that is? Sometimes your friends make you angry or they hurt your feelings. Luckily, we learned how to get things done and we learned how to be friends. And now, look at us. 50 years later, we are still close friends and you are a wonderful school. Will always foster friendships among the students, with the faculty and staff, and with the families. It's a wonderful thing to be part of a team, to share the highs and lows. It's a dream, really. Not every school is like that. Not every workplace is like that. Island School is special in that way, and I hope it continues. So, do you remember when the dream came true for you?
I do. Lindsay, you were new to Hawaii and looking for a teaching job, but at that time, our school existed only in the imagination of a few people. We were a creative bunch: surfers, foodies, artists, musicians, teachers, entrepreneurs, and used to pushing the boundaries. My family moved to Hawaii in 1969. My husband, Tom Morey, later invented the boogie board, now known as a hot. Our daughters, Michelle and Melinda, were 6 and 8 years old. My Bachelor of Fine Arts degree qualified me to teach in every school on the island in every grade. I did it for a year. Enough. We live on a farm with an organic garden that needed tending and a cow that had to be milked twice a day. I took a job as advertising manager of Hawaii stores, and 8 months later quit to open the first bookstore in Hawaii. The rent for a store in Koloa was $60 a month. That's less than you spend on coffee. My freelance design business was growing. My art was in galleries, but I still had to milk a cow twice a day. My daughters were growing older, and I realized they need a cheap school that is more challenging. And in 1974, I began to explore the idea of starting a school on Hawaii. When I first met the rest of the future founders, I knew it was possible. We could make a place to discover the world of history, science, music, art, nature, and more. A place for students to build confidence in themselves, their individuality, interests, and talents. It was hard work starting a school, but we respected each other's ideas and solved problems together. Our friendship and basic creativity is the glue that has held us together for 50 years. Diana, can you believe it's been 50 years? How old was Megan when we met?
Thank you, Johnny. Well, Megan, my daughter, was 7 when we opened the school. And actually, when we started the school, which took a year and a half at least in the planning. In fact, Megan is here today, our founding student. Over there. There she is. Megan's a grandmother right now. So she was one of the 12 that Nancy mentioned, founding students. We expanded to, I think, something like 45 in that first year. In fact, yesterday when we came to the island, we live on Maui now, when we came to Hawaii, our Uber driver happened to remember Island School, and he knew kids. He was friends with the kids who went to Island School in the old building in Kealia, across from the beach. And then Megan recalled her favorite time was going to the beach and swimming beach days, 1 day a week. We had the buddy system, all right? We didn't get to the beach without having buddies. When we got there, after every 15 minutes, the teacher would blow a whistle, and you'd find your buddy. You'd grab your buddy's hand and bring it up, and we had, everybody had a buddy until they all started playing in water again. So that is kind of like what the school is all about. Respecting one another, sharing our lives together. In fact, that's always what the school was for me. Respect and appreciation of you guys, the first 12. And now, what is it, 400? 492, oh my God. Respect and appreciation for each other no matter what. No matter how old you are, how young you are, no matter who you are, to look into each other and respecting your essence. That's what this school is meant to us. And that's what I see the school continue to be. Hallelujah. We're all in the same community together. We all have a path. We all have our own individual abilities, skills, life's dreams. We're all going to paddle together, right? Let's paddle this canoe together. Who was a part of my first island school, Forshell, who had a son, Raymond, who was also a founding student. How did you folks get to Maui, or get to Kauai? Maui.
I came to Kauai with my 2 small boys, and I was invited to stay with Denise, and she took me everywhere around the whole island. We went to every beach, every river, every place, every hill. I just fell in love with it, and I really loved it, and I stayed. And then it came time for school. I grew up in Minnesota, and it's a state on the mainland that has 10,000 lakes, but I had never been in the ocean. So that was a very wonderful thing. And we had many meetings, and we talked with a very lot of people who wanted a school, but it finally boiled down to we were the ones that came and stayed and decided to go forward and make a school. And it was 50 years ago that we sat in Diana's lanai and proclaimed ourselves the first board of directors and started work, making lists, what we had to do, what we had to get, who we had to, licenses, what we had to talk about. I was really excited. And we were like planets then held together by this dream of making a school. And then it came to be, and I was the main first office person, and I got to greet everybody. I just loved my job. And now there was the next thing we knew was we had to do a lot of fundraising. And I remember Merlin whipping up healthy glazed donuts to sell as a fundraiser. So Merlin, maybe you tell us about your passion for food.
Thank you, I was 3 years old. All I cared about was my little baby set. And I was obsessed. And the next thing I know, on my summers away from boarding school, I went away to boarding school school to get the kind of education you guys get to be here and stay at home and get. So I would come back to Kailua and I worked at Frank's Ali'i Snack Shop as a short order cook. And that meant I was there by myself. There were a bunch of people coming in. I had to take their order, cook the food, serve it. Look, I became really good at doing 10 things at once under pressure. So that became my career. Not the cooking, doing 10 things at once under pressure. So this brings us to, we opened Island School, and I'm about what? Food. And so the one that comes to mind is we had a fundraiser, and we sold like 50 tickets. Sit-down dinner, spaghetti, formal, and the tickets were $25. Now that's $200 right now, right? That was like, oh, the pressure is on. So got everybody sitting, served the salad, and because we had such chunk hot plates, the spaghetti water never boiled. And the noodles were like hard and cold. And everybody sat and sat and sat. Was anybody here at that fundraiser? That had to be my most embarrassing moment. Yeah. So after that, I spent a lot of time getting a federal grant, so the United States of America gave us money, and we got some really primo equipment for the kitchen and never had cold spaghetti for the kids, ever. So I came to this island to live about 52 years ago with Denise. And I would be cooking, we camped out on the beach for a couple months, we went where we lived first, and I would be cooking, making long rice and stuff, and then watching over Tora, who was one of the 12. She was only 2, and I'd be holding her, she'd be crying, and Denise was out surfing tunnels. Denise, you were still on this earth?
I do. Oh, I love surfing. But I want to say, while we're talking about the kitchen, Merlin wrote these grants. I mean, how old were you? You were like 18, right? You were a kid. And you wrote these federal grants, and we got all this beautiful equipment. And who was our first chef at the school for many years? Linny. Then Linny Carter, Linny Rock, where are you? There she is. And still leading people. The old days, they still talk about the amazing food now in school. Yeah, Norman, I love surfing. Surfing, I came here when I was 16, spent the summer living at the college school and learning to surf, and mentored by Herman Kane and the Nalawaliki Surf Club at Wailua, and it ignited a passion in me for the ocean, for surfing, for the aloha spirit, and for the music of Hawaii. It drew me back. I had to be dragged off the island literally crying by my mother, but I came back a few years later with Merlin, and it was in that period that we got to surf much more, and also enjoy my other passion, which is music. I want to read a quote that has meant a lot to me that I think you will relate to. And it really relates a lot to why we started Island School, what we wanted for our students, for everybody in our community. It's by Howard Thurman, who was a reverend and a civil rights activist and was a real inspiration for Martin Luther King. And he said, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. What the world needs is people who have come alive. So, for me, you know, it's been surfing, it's music, lately it's gardening, but for you, ask yourself, what are those things that make you come alive? Maybe they won't be your profession, maybe they will, but whatever you're doing, nourish that part of yourself. So I wanted to share a little bit of what makes me come alive. I'm going to play a little harmonica for you. still is, thinking, what was that? What was that for you? What you always knew what made you come alive or what?
Well, if anybody out here wasn't alive a second ago, they are now. No, I don't know what would make me come alive. You know, when I was, back then, before school started, I didn't know what my passion was. How many of you know what your passion is? Raise your hand. How many of you know what just gets you? Yeah, well, some of you do. Yeah, I can see. I did not. I had no idea at all. I was involved in children's theater when I was a kid, and I really was drawn to that kind of community. I loved to pretend. I always had a really big imagination. So, I was drawn to that sort of a thing. But, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So after I finished college, I moved up to Lake Tahoe in California, and I started in children's theater with my roommate. And that was super fun, but I didn't know where that was going to go. And now I know. So then I moved back to Kauai. I moved to Kauai and we moved in with my parents. Okay, and that was not part of my plan at all. And actually, I didn't have a plan at all. I was young, I was adventurous, but I got an old rusty Ford Falcon. You had to close the trunk with a rope. I knew where all the cookie shelves were. I actually made this back then. Cookie shelf. My cookie shelf. Okay, I found every one of these. And I would work as a waitress at the Bull Shed. I don't know if you guys have been to the Bull Shed, but I was there. I got really good tips. So that was my life. But I didn't have any direction. I was just a young person. That is until I met these lovely young women. We really were young at one point in our lives. And we started to meet, and we all had this idea in our head. And we were meeting like every day sometimes. And we were sharing our ideas, and we were building on each other's strengths. And it was so exciting. It was like magical that this community of women could work together and keep talking and building and making it happen. We were this amazing community, and it resulted in this amazing community. Look around, you guys. This is your community right now. And it's a fabulous community, and we are so fortunate to be part of this. So I wanted to just, for a second, everybody take a minute, and we're going to wish Island School a happy birthday. If you would like for just a second to close your eyes, make a birthday wish for Island School. What do you hope for Island School? Just give it a second. Okay, you guys got it? Okay, on the count of three, we're going to say happy birthday, Island School. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday! Okay, guys.
All right, I'm Sue Macklin, over here, division director. I get the pleasure of introducing Hula Fabra with the members of the Hula Palau. Please enjoy.
Aloha e, aloha e, aloha e.
everyone. My name is Ben Noss. I'm the course director here at Island School. I would like to welcome the middle and high school choirs to come and sing the alma mater. And I would also like to introduce Christy Perrin, the elementary division director, who holds the longest tenure at Island School to bring forward the special birthday cake after 46 years she's been here. And please all stand and sing alma mater together. Thank you.
Yeah, I am.
Hi everyone, my name is Logan Reynolds and I am a senior and student body president here at Island School. I would like to invite my fellow seniors to sing happy birthday with our founding mothers and celebrate Gabe and Ashley's birthday as well.
Yeah, seniors, why don't you come forward and stand around the line with us together, and then we'll all sing next. Seniors, can you come around and stand?
Photos are a wonderful way to commemorate an event. So this year, we're returning to the tradition of taking an all-school photo. And we thought a great moment to do that would be when we're all together for the school birthdays, that we can include our founders as well. Once dismissed from here, we will gather on the back field by the scoreboard for our all-school photo. And don't worry, after the photo, we have a treat for all students, as is their tradition at Island School, to celebrate the day. And seniors will mark their special here by joining the founding mothers to have a slice of birthday cake after the all-school photo.
everyone by grade level. So, and because we are starting from the back to the front, everyone needs to listen to Justin, who will be up there arranging all the students so that we can get our photo taken. So be sure and listen to him when you get up there. And I want to thank all the founding members for being here today, because it's so great to see you all together today. So let's give them all one more round of applause.
Okay, this logistical thing of having 500 people, all faculty, staff, in a photo, it's gonna be so fun. I can feel it. I can feel how fun that's gonna be. So, what I'm gonna ask of you is to be really, we're gonna be on a hill. So the 11th grade is gonna be up highest on the hill, and then we're gonna listen to Justin as where the other grades come down, and the 4th KG and the seniors will be low and in front. Okay? Yes? All right. So, Chris, you want to start with that?
Yes, we'd like to start with the 11th graders. So please head on up to the backfield by the square.
Go directly